everybody should do is, why doesn't everybody like plug in their hot glue guns? If you don't already have your hot glue gun revved up, go ahead and get that in the ready position. And I'm going to kind of walk us through everything. We're going to make 3 different kinds of pumpkins. And what I'm going to do is kind of get you started on them. And then I'm not sure we'll get to finish all 3, but you'll basically walk away with the techniques to know how to finish them on your own at a later time and all that kind of good stuff. So the first one I want to make with everybody, and this is the one you're going to need the hot glue gun for. And this one involves painting, and that's why I like to make it first, because that way our paint can dry and then we can have kind of a reveal moment, if you will. So this one, and here's another thing, and this may drive some of you crazy, but this is how I tend to work. I did this one on an orange pumpkin, and I'm going to make my own with you guys on an orange pumpkin. But if you want to do it on a black pumpkin, if you want to do it on a white pumpkin, and if you want to use a different color besides black with your paint, that is totally up to you. So you guys kind of just do you on that. This is all just kind of based on suggestion more than anything. So keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to move my pumpkin over. Boop, boop, boop. So as you guys know, pumpkins come in all different kinds of sizes. I'm going with I think maybe this is like a 6-incher size pumpkin, maybe a little bigger. Maybe this is the 9, but you could use whichever one you want. The next thing you're going to need to get is your cotton laundry cording. If you guys found this and you want it to be cotton, any kind of cording will work, like the macrame cording, but you want it to be cotton because we are going to put some paint on there, right? And we want it to be able to take the paint. So get your cotton laundry cording. I'm still looking where everybody's from. We got some Las Vegas, we got Denver, Los Angeles, Double, North Carolina, Baton Rouge, all kinds of fun places. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, got my hot glue gun, is everybody's hot glue gun look as dirty and icky with stuff stuck on it like mine does? My hot glue gun always looks like a really sad state of affairs. I can't help it. All right, so start at the top, right around the top of your pumpkin, right? Okay. So I'm going to put my glue here and just a little dab, right? I'm just kind of getting started. Now you could use regular craft glue if you wanted to, but I just like hot glue. I'm one of those people that I like, you know, instant gratification when it comes to my crafts. So I'm going to get this started and then I'll kind of show you. So you can see right here how I'm getting it started. I'm just kind of putting it right around the top. And what we're going to do is, using your hot glue, we're going to coil, okay? So it's kind of a glue wrap, glue wrap, glue wrap combo. So you know how this goes. So go all the way around. And this, y'all, is one of my favorite techniques to do. I love using this cotton laundry cording because I've used it on like thrift store vases to make planters. I've used it on those like giant jumbo Easter eggs you can get that are plastic, and made them into like a hanging basket. So this cotton laundry cording has all kinds of possibilities to turn just about anything in a basket. You know, those really trendy kind of boho baskets that are woven and all the different colors. You can use this stuff to make that. So see how I'm going around and around? How's everybody doing on that? I'm checking. I'm looking at some videos. I see my friend Stacy. Hi. Is everybody gluing and getting it all on there? I don't see a lot of cameras on, which is fine. I understand that. So let me do another layer around. Okay. Now the other thing about this is you could, yes, technically, you could cover this whole pumpkin if you wanted to, go all the way around, all the way to the top. But if you noticed on the example pumpkin that I showed, I only went about halfway down, right? Because it's not hard, but it's a little tedious to keep going. So you can see here, I only went about halfway. I also kind of like the way that it looks with just the halfway mark on the pumpkin. That was kind of the contrast I was going for. I'm scrolling through to see. Gluing and doing, says Linda. That is what I like to hear. That is pretty much the story of my life, Linda. I could have that on a t-shirt. I feel like I do that all the time. All right, let's scroll over, see if anybody's got their cameras on so I can see where you are so far. Anybody got anything fun to show me? There's so many of you, I could just keep going and going with these scrolling. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit longer, okay? Because after we do this, this is when we're gonna also next start cutting some stickers. Let's see here. Go all the way over here. And guys, I don't know if y'all how familiar you are with Zoom. I am practically a pro at it now because of my children and the homeschool action. So if you guys have any questions or you're wondering where I got anything or you're like, whoa, slow it down, type it in the chat because I can see and then I can help you answer any of your hot burning crafty questions. No pun intended. We don't want anything hot and burning when we're working with our hot glue guns. All right. And you know, you can see I'm getting it all over my fingers. That's why these low temp hot glue guns are always a good idea. Although I'm one of those people that I've been doing this for so long, I'm not sure I have fingerprints left anymore. I've got all the calluses. So, okay. So you keep on keeping on with this, right? And you would go all the way down to halfway, or you could cover the entire pumpkin. And again, that's called cotton laundry cording. And you just get that. It's usually a lot of times you can find it kind of over in the macrame department or like over where you find like the laundry supplies. All right, so once you have all, let's see, I have a question. Did you make the black and white pumpkins in your tree behind me? Why, yes, I did. That's actually just black washi tape on a regular tree. It's not anything fancy. It might even be electrical tape, to tell you the truth, the pumpkin behind me. And then Sonia asked, what size is your pumpkin? You know, Sonia, I am not 100% sure, but I think, I don't have a ruler on me, but I think this is the 9-inch that Michael's has. So that is my guess. All right, so obviously I have covered this all the way here. How did I get the triangles? Let me tell you another one of my favorite craft items, besides cotton laundry cording, that's kind of an unusual one. It is this adhesive backed craft foam. You see this? This is usually, you would think of it for kids craft. It's that really thick craft, right? Or foam, right? You can see it's kind of thick and the back comes off and this is sticky. So I love this stuff for a ton of different purposes. But what I use it for on these pumpkins is I cut it into triangles, and this is gonna act as a sticker or a resist, right? So I'm gonna cut it into triangles. Lots and lots of triangles. And the nice thing is they come in this square shape. So you've kind of already got your guidelines. And the best part about this pumpkin in particular, in this style, is you want to go with really random different shapes of triangles. And that's kind of what gives it that cool look. Think back to geometry, 4th grade, 5th grade, and think about like your isosceles triangle and your like obtuse angles and all of that. So the more different the triangles, the better. All right, let's see. We have somebody saying, I love your Halloween tree. Why, thank you. If you guys follow me on any of my social media channels, like on Instagram, I'm at Jennifer Perkins, you know that I have a thing for Halloween trees. I have a couple of them around my house. All right, so honestly, I was saying that this part took a while to cover it, but sometimes cutting out these little foam triangles could take even longer. And you can find these little stickers already cut in different shapes, like circles or numbers. Like they're usually in like the kids craft department. But like I said, I like to do my stickers on my own. So what you would do is go in, and like I said, the back comes right off. So it's a sticker, see? And then over here, where you just have the cotton laundry cording, that's where you would go in and you would put, pretend this doesn't already have black paint on it, right? You would go in and you would put your sticker, okay? And then where your sticker is, this is where, once you have this all covered with stickers, this is where we're gonna come in with the paint, okay? All right, so once you have that, am I going too fast? Is everybody doing okay, everybody? Everybody feeling it, getting the concept of our laundry cord pumpkin and the possibilities, the endless possibilities of the laundry cording? Because I have never, ever used the cording for laundry, just for crafting. Just gonna put that out there. I'm scrolling through, seeing if there's any fun pictures. Okay, so we got this. We got our foam. So you've stuck it on here. Okay, and let's see. Next, you want to get a stencil brush. Now, technically, you could use any type of brush you wanted, but I like that
186.
186?
Yes.
Did you order online?
Somebody's got their fast food order coming, and now it's made me hungry. I know, it's like, what are you getting? Order me some too. Supersize those fries for me. Okay, so get your craft paint, and you can pour it in a little palette. You know what I always do? I always like pour it in the lid. That's just how I roll. I always pour it in my lid, and that kind of acts as my little palette. So I'm just using plain black craft paint from Michaels. Using my stencil brush, I would dip it in, right? And then you would go right over your sticker. And the nice thing about these stickers is, like I said, if you have it nice and smushed down, it's gonna act like a resist. So wherever the sticker is gonna stay white. And whatever you paint is gonna get colored. You see where I'm going with this action? Okay, and the reason I like to use a stencil brush is since, you know, this is bumpy, right? And then our foam sticker is also raised. Stenciling is what you call a dry brush technique. So it's kind of like, it's sort of stabby is what it is. You're kind of like stabbing at the paint to get it on there. Plus, like I said, this is cotton, it's absorbing your paint, and you wanna make sure you get in those cracks and you go all the way around. And then of course, with the magic of television, I have some over here that we can already look at. So over here, what you do then is once the paint is all dry and you've got the whole thing covered, then you would peel your stickers off, right? Do you see how you did that magic? Does that make sense to everybody? I'm reading any comments. See if you said it's foam craft paper, Pamela's asking. Yes, it's usually, like I said, it usually comes in like a pack of like rainbow colors, and it's over by like Kids Craft Town, you know, where you can buy like the stickers that are like the alphabet or the shapes or whatever. They usually have this in like a big thick pack. And I like to get the sheets of it, and it comes in all kinds of colors, and it doesn't matter what color you use for this project because we're using it like a stencil or a resist, and we're gonna get paint all over it, right? Does that make sense? All right, got it, cool. Pouncing, yes, thank you. That is a more technical term than stabbing your pumpkin with your paintbrush. I appreciate that. I've got my own craft lingo here sometimes. So if everybody's pretty clear on this, I am gonna move on to the next pumpkin. So that is pumpkin number one of my personal favorites. Like I said, don't underestimate the power of this technique. I have used these stickers and done it on like t-shirts, on tote bags, all kinds of things to get a really cool geometric pattern. So I'm gonna set this back here with my sea of other craft pumpkins. Move this guy over. And you guys, like I said, I am at Jennifer Perkins on Instagram. So if you have any questions, if I didn't answer anything, you can always message me there. You can email me, jen@jenniferperkins.com, all the places. Let's see. Okay, yes, as Raina says, please post your pictures, tag Michaels, tag me, because I want to see and Michaels wants to see. All right, pumpkin number 2. This is where we are going to use our doilies, okay? Again, guys, it does not matter what color pumpkin you use. Grab whichever one is closest to you. Here's one that I already have done on an orange pumpkin. Who is this? I love your face. Mary Traxler, your face is making me so happy right now with your, ooh, I can't hear you guys, but I can see those faces and it makes me very happy. So I just put this little doily on the bottom, and then you can color block the top. Again, it doesn't matter if we start with a white pumpkin, a black pumpkin, what have you. Now, the doily. I heard a rumor through the grapevine. Some people were having a hard time getting their hands on the doilies. I'll tell you where I find mine. You know, when you're standing in line at Michael's, if you're about to check out and there's all those candies and cookies and all the like impulse buy things, and you're like, I do need that extra scotch tape. It's right there. Those doilies are like right by the checkout in the dollar bin. That's where I always find the doilies. And they usually come in black, purple. That's what I've got today, or white, okay? So another option is for my friends that were telling me they were having a hard time finding a doily. Stacy, I'm looking at you. You can use lace, you can use decoupage. I happen to be a craft supply hoarder. I know this comes as a giant surprise looking behind me. So I had some like, you know, old school like grandma doilies. I had yellow, but this just didn't scream Halloween to me, but I did have it. I mean, don't even get me started. I could have supplied the whole class with doilies upon doilies, but I went with my Michael's purple, right? Okay, so get your pumpkin. And you can do this two ways. We can go bottom of the pumpkin, or you can go top of the pumpkin. I am not going to tell you what to do with your pumpkin. This is your pumpkin. This is your pumpkin party. So you guys decide if you would rather have it on the top or on the bottom. I personally, I think I might even go for like a side action for me, just so it's easier for me to show you guys. I'm going to go with like this number right here, okay? So let me bring over my handy dandy little stand, which is actually just some boxes of craft supplies that I have, but you know, it works. Okay, so here we go. So I've got my pumpkin, and you know, this is a faux pumpkin, but technically this technique that we're about to do, you could use on a real pumpkin, I suppose, but you know, eventually you were gonna lose that project and lose that doily to, you know, nature and compost and such. So go with the faux pumpkin. All right, so here's kind of what it looks like. And you're gonna bust out your friend decoupage medium, right? The good old standby. This is the one I'm gonna use, but there's no preference. You could use like a craft glue too if you wanted to, that'll work. And now this is the easiest of all the pumpkins. And like I said, I'm using a doily. You could use lace, you could use fabric. You know, when you think decoupage pumpkin, I am sure you guys, your minds could go crazy. You could use old napkins, whatever you want. I'm just gonna go with the doily technique because doily kind of reminded me of a spider web in a weird way. I don't know, like I said, I'm a craft supply hoarder, so I had a whole bunch of them already. Because what's better than one doily than lots of doilies? All right, so kind of lightly coat with your decoupage medium the area where you're gonna put your doily, right? So I decided on the side, but remember, if you wanna go on the bottom or you wanna put it over the top, you do you. If you wanna use your orange pumpkin, you go for it. All right, are there any questions? Okay, Andrea is asking me, is a foam brush the best type to use because it's disposable? You know, maybe it is. I mean, they're all about the same. I do like a foam brush. I'm also one of those like weird craft supply people that like never throws it away, even though it's disposable, especially like the ones with like the little round tips. They're like my precious little babies. I'm just like, no, like gotta rinse it out and save it for again and again. So yes, sponge brushes are fine, but you know, any paintbrush, whatever you have on hand is gonna work. And you know, decoupage and like a tacky glue, you could even use Elmer's, that's all non-toxic. I mean, Lord, you could smear it onto your fingers if you needed to. So hold on, here we go. So putting it on, you don't need it like super thick. Just make sure you're getting it kind of in the area. And again, if you've never used decoupage medium, which I'm sure you guys have, who hasn't? It's like craft glue. This is gonna dry clear. So nobody be alarmed, it's gonna dry and be just fine. The fun thing is some decoupage that they have now can be like glittery. I know, just when you thought life couldn't get any better, there is glitter decoupage medium. I was riveted to find this out. You can get shiny, you can get matte, there's all kinds of stuff. So you can see the decoupage medium is kind of helping my doily adhere to my pumpkin, right? But it's still kind of like wanting to poke up in some spots. So what I did after this is I'm gonna go in and add even more, right on top. Don't be afraid to really soak your doily because you want it to really stick stick on there, right? So, and then from this point, I've done a couple of different things. Once your decoupage medium dries, you could leave it as is. But for those of you that know me or follow me on any of my social channels, you know that I can't just leave this alone as it is, because as I like to say, more is more, less is a bore. So, you know, the other things you could do, like I said, it looks like a spider web. You could go in and maybe when it's dry, hot glue a little plastic toy spider on there, give it that like super duper spider web look. You could, I have done kind of at the points, I've added googly eyes. You can also get like little spikes that are adhesive backed and they look kind of fun, all kinds of stuff. Let's see, I'm looking at these questions. Does Mod Podge wash out? Could you decoupage over the doily and sprinkle glitter on it? I am liking these questions. Let's see, does the Mod Podge wash out? Yes, the Mod Podge does wash out. You gotta kind of sit there like you were washing out like a sponge, like a hand sponge, kind of squeeze it under the water, get it all out. Yes, technically, these brushes are probably meant to be disposable. I don't know why, I'm just one of those weird people that doesn't dispose of mine. I wash it. So if you wanted to do this project and just, you know, take your sponge brush and toss it, you totally could do that. So keep doing this. And then could you sprinkle glitter on it? Why, yes. Why, yes, you could. And I also think that is a fabulous idea. You don't have, there's nothing magical about glitter Mod Podge or decoupage medium. You can add your own glitter after the fact. And in a second, I'll hold up that other pumpkin and talk to you about another technique you could do. If you wanted to glitter it, this would be the time. Once you get like a nice even coat on here, while your Mod Podge is still wet, that's when you'd want to come in with your glitter, okay? So you don't have to do it twice. Right now, while everything is nice and wet and you got like a second and it's still tacky, you would come in and you would sprinkle your glitter on there. So this other pumpkin over here, let's see. Dodge Dodge also makes a glitter version. Does the decoupage help seal the doily? My house phone is ringing. My gosh, I forgot I even had a house phone. Who knew? It's like one of those things where you're just like, what? Yes, it would seal the doily, I guess technically. I guess by seal you mean like, I'm not sure what you mean by seal. Like seal it from what? It'll kind of make it hard, right? It'll make it like stiff and it'll adhere it. Does anybody have like a pumpkin that they're working on that they want to show me? I see some other faces I recognize. I see my friend Becky. Hi, Becky. I'm scrolling through. I love to see what you guys are working on. Don't be afraid to turn on your camera. Even if you're just watching from home and hanging out, that's okay. You don't have to make all the pumpkins. Part of the fun of these classes is, since they're free, you can just watch them and you can make these later, get some ideas and roll with it from later on. I mean, that's what I love about it. All right, so, oh wait, Mary's holding something up. Oh, you've jumped ahead, Mary. Look at you, I see you. You're going right to sequins. You've just skipped ahead. We're getting there. But the sequin one takes a while, so you might as well get like a head start on that. So what I was gonna say about the glitter, going back to, oh, to protect it, Rose says. Yes, it will protect it. It'll kind of seal it, right? Especially if you are using like a vintage doily or a piece of lace. Like my mother gave me some lace curtains that, I mean, I wouldn't say they're sentimental per se, but you know, they were the curtains that hung in my childhood kitchen. So, you know, that would protect them. So they would forever be encased on a pumpkin. So back to glitter. If you wanted to, if you were going with the decoupage action on the bottom, if you were putting your doily on the bottom, like I did here, or you put it on the top, this, speaking of glitter, this is when you could paint this, and while it was wet with your paint, then you would sprinkle the glitter on there. I see someone say multitasking. That is absolutely multitasking. Linda says, I have to sign off. Thank you for the inspiration and the how-tos. Linda, you are so welcome. Thank you for stopping by. So while your paint is wet, then you would sprinkle glitter on. And also note how this pumpkin, if I hold it kind of still, see how it's kind of like at an angle? Doodle. It's not like straight across. And I kind of like that it's like kind of at like this way. So this was kind of a 2-for-1 special. You can go just doily, or you can go doily and paint block, right? Okay, so I'm gonna keep on getting this down because we've got some time. You guys, if you have any questions down there, put them in the comments. Let me know, or let me see some more pictures. I see my friend Stacy diligently working with her cotton laundry cording. I can see you. Oh, look at that, coming right along. I don't know if you guys can see each other, but she's got one coming. Let's see. I see Becky and her pumpkin. I see lots of smiley, friendly faces. All right. Okay, so if everybody's kind of got that pumpkin, everybody like, cool, let's see. Let's answer a few questions. That is a cool cabinet behind you. Is it custom? No, it is not. There's a company that makes said craft cabinet, and it's quite amazing. But let's see. So I'm going to push him to the side, and usually I don't have a Halloween tree pushed up into my craft cabinet, but you know, I had to set the scene for you guys, right? I had to keep it festive. Okay, so let's go to the last pumpkin, and we can always jump back and ask some more questions if you guys have some, you know, something I skipped over. This is the one that you guys, if you saw the commercial that Michael's has been airing, or if you saw ads on Facebook, it's very disconcerting to be checking your own personal Facebook and you keep seeing your own face pop up in a sponsored ad, and you're like, why am I there? Why am I there? But if you have seen that ad, then you have seen this pumpkin, the sequin pumpkin. Yes, I see some heads nodding. I see people reaching for pumpkins. Kevin, I saw you reaching for your pumpkin. You're like, finally, she's getting to the good one that I've been waiting for. All right, so let me spin a little yarn about this pumpkin for just a hot second. So where did the idea for the sequin pumpkin come from? So again, anybody that follows me on social or is already familiar with the things that I do know that the only thing I love more than crafts is kitsch. Love me some kitsch and some vintage crafts. Does anybody remember these old ornaments that like you used to make and like they sell them at the church bazaar, and they're like, I mean, they're borderline tacky, but they're still like so amazing. There's sequins, there's pins. I happen to love these suckers and collect them. Like anytime I find them, it is like jackpot. I have a whole tree full of them. So I saw those and I thought, how can I bring my favorite tacky Christmas ornaments into Halloween? Well, it started with some ornaments that I made for one of my Halloween trees. So that was the first step I took. So, you know, these were kind of my gateway drug. Then I went here. Then this year, I was like, let's take it to the pumpkin, people. Because these foam pumpkins, as you guys know, you can do so many things with them, right? We painted them and like stenciled them. We decoupaged them. I have like polka dotted them. But the thing that I got to thinking about is these vintage ornaments are styrofoam balls that you're basically like poking. Again, I'm going to say stabbing as a craft technique. You're just like stabbing those pins in there. So I was like, why can't we do this with a pumpkin? So that's what we're going to do. So again, oh, and I have this little baby one I brought out to show you. Here's like a little wee one that took me forever and ever in a day. You guys need to like hunker down, pick a new Netflix show, and just get ready to be sitting down for a really long time if you're gonna make one that's like super elaborate. All right, I see people going like, yes, give me the pumpkin. Okay, so I am so glad you guys are excited. So I'm gonna kind of give you a couple of techniques. Another thing people were talking to me about online, did anybody have trouble finding sequins that were tickling their little crafty fancy? Was anybody? Okay, I see some people nodding. Okay. And then I see Bridget saying no, like she is happy as a clam and she's got all the sequins she could ever want. Great. So here's the thing is sequins, a lot of times like at Michael's, they come in those packs where they are what's the word I'm looking for? Not variegated, but you know, put it in the comments if you think of the word, where it's like biggest, medium, small, baby small. Do you know what I mean? But they're all the same color. Like you can get the hot pink that way, or you can get the green. Assorted, that's a perfect word for it. So basically you want to get a few packs in Halloween colors. To me, these are my Halloween colors. Hot pink is always going to be involved. It's just a staple around here. And so you want to get them in those various sizes. Then some people were asking me about these like Halloween ones. So if you're familiar with, you know, where you get the sequins, right? And then there's that like bucket or like bin, like plastic bin of sequins, and there's like a bunch of random stuff in there. I tend to get those a lot. And that is where you can find some of the weird holiday ones. That's where I found some pumpkins and some bats. There was a menorah in my pack. I mean, there is like, I could sequin something for every holiday ever if I wanted to. And then some of these are vintage, and some of them are vintage. You can see they're raised, are vintage flower petals. So I kind of cheated. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, get your foam pumpkins, peoples, and let me show you how to get this party started. Let me get situated. Move my hot glue over, move the decoupage over, and we will get started. So here is the first thing you're gonna need. And I don't know how my hands got so dirty. I really don't. I swear I started this class with clean hands. I don't know what happened. So you're gonna need some little pins, right? Now, could you use sewing pins? Probably, but there are also, these are called sequin pins or beading pins, and you can get them like long like this. Let me see if I can find a short one. They also come really short. I tend to like the long ones better because I see that there's 9 people in the waiting room, but I don't know how to let those people in. But anyway, so they're called head pins, right? Or I call them that. When you're referring to jewelry, they're called head pins. And that's because, see, they have that little head on them. They're flat like that. Like in the jewelry world, the ones with the little hole on the top are called eye pins. And we want them to have that little head because the first thing we're going to put on there is a seed bead. And a seed bead is basically just one of these, like, you know, jewelry beads, right, that are teensy tiny. You can even get them smaller than this. And you can use any which color you want, but I like to use them first. Let's see. They are not sharp. They are literally jewelry making pins. No, they are sharp because they have to be sharp. I'm sorry, I sound like I'm like going crazy, but I'm reading questions in the comment. They are sharp. I mean, you could definitely prick your finger. And plus, keep in mind, you need them to jam into a foam pumpkin. So they have to be sharp, right? So first step, put your wee little bead onto your head pin, and it's gonna sit there, okay? The next thing you're gonna do is go through your little variety pack of assorted sequins. And what you want to do is start, actually I'm lying, don't listen to me. Not with your biggest not with your biggest sequin. I like to start, you can't even see it, it's so tiny. I like to start with my smallest pumpkin or my smallest sequin first. I'm losing my mind. I've got so many pumpkins and crafts going on all around me. And then you're going to go from smallest to biggest. So we've got our head pin on. My head pin wants to, or my seed bead wants to fly off of my head pin. So we've got that. Then next, I'm going to put my sequin on, my smallest sequin, okay? You see that? And if you notice, sequins can be kind of concave. Is it concave and convex, right? You know how they kind of bend this way or they bend that way? You want them to kind of see how mine I'm putting in that direction where it like bends towards the bead, where it's going this way towards the bead. So that's what you want. Let's see, where can we get vintage sequins? Can we see your collection of sequins? You know what? I will post a picture. I almost brought it out because I've got like 2 big tubs full of like crazy vintage sequins. But then I was like, no, nobody's gonna want to see my sequins. I'll post it on my Instagram stories, so you guys pop over there after class. Okay, so we've got our sequin, right? The smallest sequin that we want to use on our seed bead. Next, let's go with the next largest, right? See how I'm doing that? You see how it's creating that, like, am I close enough for you guys? Okay. I mean, because I can hardly see because I don't have on my readers, so I'm just like hoping you guys can see. So we're hoping for the best. All right, so next, let's see. So I've got hot pink, I've got green. Let's go with an orange. So see, some of these sequins, they can get pretty jumbo size, right? I was kind of surprised. I was like, man, some sequins are large and in charge. So I've got that one. Then last but not least, I am gonna get one of my kind of florally shaped ones. You see it? So this is what I like to call making the sequin sandwich. This is a very technical crafting term. If you're taking notes, be sure to write that down. So, okay, so you've got your sequin sandwich. Now you're gonna find an empty spot on your pumpkin. I'll use my little naked pumpkin over here. You can tell I don't have on my reading glasses when I'm like having to pull the pumpkin way far away from me to see if I've got a hole started. All right. I didn't try to plot this out. You know, I am not a technical crafter. If you are a technical crafter and you wanted to like really like map this out exactly how your sequin pattern was going to go and how it was going to look, you do you. I am not that person. So I just kind of randomly stuck it in, eyeballed it, right? And then I was like, all right, yep, feeling it. And then I'm going to continue making some of those sequin sandwiches and creating a pattern going all the way across. Now that one went in pretty easy, but I got to tell you, once you're at this point, or once you're like trying to make one of these, like remember how we were talking about how I had like no fingerprints anymore from hot glue? Like you really don't know pain until you've done a whole lot of sequins. So you might want to get yourself like a little thimble, you know, like maybe one of those, not like the hard thimbles, but kind of a loosey, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, one that's kind of soft, a soft thimble, but yet like won't hurt your finger. All right, so let's review. Let's go over it again, and then I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to see if anybody has any pictures they want to show me. And don't forget, guys, I can see the chat. So if you have any questions, want to ask me about something, let me know. Where can we get vintage sequins? Well, if I told you that, then there wouldn't be any more for me to get. So I can't tell you. But I mean, obvious places, eBay, Etsy, all the kinds of places like that, flea markets, you know. Sorry, I gotta take a drink of water. All right, so let's make another sequin sandwich. We got our pen. Andrea, thank you. Thank you for saying that I am funny. That I appreciate that. It's hard. It's fairly disconcerting when you can see everybody's face, but you can't hear anybody. And you're like, do they hate me? Are they so bored? Do they want to just slam their laptop down and run away? You just don't know. So anyway, so we put our little seed bead on, right? And again, these come in like every color in the whole world, every size. Let me see if I can get one over here. Can you see that guy? I mean, he is teeny tiny. Like I would definitely need to go find my readers before I could even like pretend to use him. All right, so we've got our little guy on here. And again, I'm going to start with my smallest sequin. And I'm going to have him go that way, right? He is going that way towards the tiny bead. I don't know what this symbol means, but you know what I'm trying to say. So there we go.
Alligator trying to eat it.
Exactly. Thank you. And I am actually working on greater than and less than symbols right now with my third grader.
That's exactly where I got it from.
Right? The sequin alligator eats the seed bead. There's how you do it. All right. So anyone else homeschooling third grade math totally knows what we mean by that. Okay. So then we put the next size on. I'm going to go with white because I love a good black and white contrast. Let's go with a black one because why not? Black and white, nothing says Halloween like black and white, right? Okay, and then we'll go with this big orange one. Okay, one of those big foil ones. Now also I want to point out that over here, now I said that some of these beads, these like flowery ones that are raised, are vintage. However, I know that Michaels sells beads. They're not in the sequins department. They're over like with the beads, and they sell these like flower petal things for jewelry making. But you know, all the time when you're like, it says it's jewelry making, it can be pumpkin stuff too. Like, you know, don't pigeonhole those flower beads. You can also use it in your pumpkin. All right, so we have our little sequin sandwich. He's looking good. Let's bring over the naked pumpkin that he needs some more friends. So I would keep going, like to start across the top. That's kind of how I made the big one that's got so much on it. Let's see. And once I kind of had a couple down, then I might go, okay, I'm going to repeat this pattern and put him right here, you know, and then kind of keep going with that same situation. Does that make sense for everybody? Yeah? Okay. You know how to repeat a pattern. All right. So I'm flipping through looking at pictures. Anybody have anything they want to show me? Any pumpkins? Mary, I see yours sticking up there. It looks good. Oh, Bridget, you started before class. I can tell that you did. There's no way you did all that in class. That is some serious sequining. I see, let's see, I can't say your name. It starts with a J, ends with an L. I see your pumpkin going. I love seeing everybody's stuff. Like I said, if you post it on Instagram, tag me and I will share it in my stories. Even if you're not here live and you're watching this later, post it. I want to see your pumpkins. Okay, so you would sequin sandwich all day long, right? Again, if you wanted to cover the whole pumpkin, you are more than welcome to do so, right? However, I like the look of leaving a little bit of negative space, which is actually kind of unlike me to have 2 negative space type projects. I'm usually a let's just glitterify the whole thing. But I did like this look. But another thing that I wanted to throw in there and let you guys know, if you're like, oh my gosh, my fingertips need a break, like I cannot do any more sequins today, bring out your friend. You love them, you know them, the googly eye, right? I have recently discovered that you can get googly eyes that are stickers. I know. I was so excited. I was like, what? There are sticker googly eyes? So you just peel the back off. You can get them like in a sheet too. Like, you know how you get like a sheet of stickers? You can get them like that. They even have googly eyes that have like eyelashes and some that look like Halloween. I mean, you guys think I have a lot of sequins. You ought to see my stash of googly eyes. Like, it's pretty ridiculous too. So the nice thing about the sticker googly eye, sure, if you don't have sticker googly eyes and your kids just have regular googly eyes, go get those and you can glue them on. But I think that the googly eyes really add a little something to the pumpkin, right? So I'm gonna go around and add a few of the googly eyes. So like I said, they come in big, they come in large, but they really match those sequins, I think, match the pattern really well. So see, they match it so well, I can't even tell where I did it. So here it is. You can kind of see my pattern here. So I'm going to put one here, and I would just go all the way around. Another thing you can do, and I don't have any right here to show you, but I just thought of it, is, you know, you can get those like gemstones that are also adhesive back, the ones that are just like flat on the back. You know, think of the days of a bedazzler. And you can like stick those on there. They have those with an adhesive back, but you could also just, you know, glue them on if you wanted to. All right, let's see if there's any, let's see. Saw a funny sign that says, you put on your door, it said, homeschooling in progress. Do not ring bell unless you have coffee or are a math teacher. Amen to that. I had no idea 3rd grade math was so hard. Not to mention the way they teach math. I am just like, what are you doing with all these diagrams and these boxes and drawing pictures? Like, can we just say 32 minus 17 and be done with it? Like, I don't need to draw a picture. Anybody that is trying to do that math, you know what I'm saying. So I'm still going around with my googly eyes. Okay. I'm gonna go through, see if I see any other updates. If anybody's got any updates, hold up your pumpkins. Let me see. Mary, it's looking good, looking good. I like it on the orange. Feeling it. Bridget, have you lost feeling in your fingers yet? From all the sequins? I'm telling you. Like you need one of the, yeah, I know, you need a thimble. It's like carpal tunnels from the sequins is real. Let's see, anybody else got one to show? Catherine, I like your studio. It's all you got. I see it's all organized and pretty back there. Oh, look at that. Ooh, I like that pumpkin, Catherine. That looks awesome. So you guys, like I said, post them on Instagram or on my Facebook page or somewhere. It makes me happy to see them. I love it when people get crafty. Okay, so any other hot burning questions? Let's see, I'm going through. I feel like we're finishing kind of fast. Does anybody need me to go back to any of, let's see, one new message. Anybody need me to go back to a leather quilting thimble works great? That's what I'm kind of trying to think of, is something like that, like leathery or latexy, like something where you could still like move your finger, like one of those hot pads where you can still kind of feel things, but like, you know, it's also not gonna like hurt your finger. Let's see, are the painted pumpkins okay outside? That's a great question. Any of these foam pumpkins, I mean, technically, yes, on your doorstep, like they're totally fine, but like rain, sleet, and snow for the whole month of October, yeah, I don't know, maybe. I mean, it is foam. Can anything destroy foam? I don't know. Let's see, what else? But you could definitely like put it outside on the porch. I mean, you know, we put them outside all the time in a porch. I have like an old like grocery store shopping cart, because of course I do, and I like to fill those up with faux pumpkins and put them on the front porch. Or this one right here behind me with those faux pumpkins. That tree has actually been on my back porch and is eventually going to go on my front porch, and that is going to be a like trick or treat yourself tree. So, you know, it's going to be kind of like the kids can come up and like get their own tree. And those pumpkins that you guys were asking about earlier, watch this, you're about to have your mind blown. Pumpkin? Not really. It's a half pumpkin. Michael's has these too. So that's what those kind of pumpkins are if you only want to like halfway decorate. Let's see, on the glitter painted pumpkin, to have the look of yours, do you seriously cover with glitter or do you just like lightly sprinkle? Oh, I seriously cover it with glitter. Like, I don't play when it comes to glitter. Like, I cake it on. If go big or go home when it comes to glitter. Like, there is no such thing as subtle. It just looks silly. The way to get a look like this is, while your paint is really wet, then put that on. Or if you want to, you can also, you know, paint it black and then put like a glue that's obviously going to dry clear. I guess it's all glue. And then, you know, that's not going to dry super fast, like a craft glue. You wouldn't want to do that technique with hot glue. And then, you know, just dump the glitter on top of it. You could do it if you don't want to waste a lot of glitter. You can do it like on top of a piece of poster board or a piece of craft paper, and then whatever excess falls off, you know, you have in your paper, you can fold your paper up, pour your glitter back, right? And these with the glitter, it definitely wouldn't get wet. No. Okay, let's see. What about the rubber finger cots to turn pages? That could also work. That's a great idea. I need one of those anyway, because I'm one of those annoying people that constantly licks my finger while I turn pages. My kids are always like, Mommy, quit licking my book. I can't stop, so I need some of those. Kevin, I am so glad you were truly inspired and can't wait to get started on your sequin pumpkin. I cannot wait to see it. Silicone pumpkins, or silicone thimbles. That's the word I'm looking for, silicone. There is also glitter paint. Drusilla, yes, there is glitter paint, but I gotta tell you, glitter paint is not glittery enough for this gal. I like to double the glitter. You could use the glitter paint and then put the glitter on top, but I mean, I am a heavy-handed glitterer. So let me.
You can never have too much glitter.
Oh my gosh, I mean, can you really?
No.
I mean, I always warn people, like for me, like I'm always going to be like a little too much probably for everybody. So most everybody else should probably take it down 10. So
Have you ever tried mixing it in with Mod Podge and then painting it on like that?
You know, I haven't, since Mod Podge has the glitter option. Do you know what I mean? Since there is glittery Mod Podge. And plus, I won't get that like thick caked on glitter action that I love with that. So, you know, there's that. You can also get like paint that this isn't one, but see how it's kind of metallic. There's some pretty good metallic paints right now, and there's actually some really good metallic spray paints. So you could also start kind of with that if you don't want to go, if glitter is not your jam. You know, you could still get shiny without glitter. So there's options out there for you guys. Let's see, these are so fun. I loved your show on HGTV. Why, thank you. I'm so glad you guys remember me from back in those days. Let's see. I love the project sheets on the Michael site with materials listed. That is very handy. Don't forget, I'm not sure they had that little tub sequins listed, and that is where I got all the weird sequins. This is my first online class, and it was awesome. You're a great instructor. Thank you so much, Rose. I hope you come back for more. I want to take more now. I mean, who doesn't love a free craft class, right? I mean, what else did I have to do on a Wednesday night? I'm so glad I got to hang out with y'all. All right, it looks like what type of colors to use to paint. Well, that's totally up to you. You can see I'm a fan of like 98-cent craft paint. I am all about the cheap craft paint. I mean, I have like expensive craft paint, but I gotta tell you, I end up using my like 98-cent, like if it costs more than $2 for paint, I'm just like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I get like that. So I love me the like just in-store, inexpensive craft paint. I think it works every bit as well as super expensive craft paint, personally. So anybody else want to show me their pumpkins or ask me any hot burning questions? No? Wait, hold on. Somebody was going to show me something. I felt it. No? All right, Raina, what do you think? Anything I left out?
No, I put a link in the chat for anybody who wants to look through all of the upcoming Michael's classes. They can go see what we've got in store for the next few weeks.
There were some good ones.
Yeah, and then the recording for the class, for today's class, will be available in 24 hours on the Michael's website. You'll find it in the seasonal craft category.
Fun. And I'll post a link to it in a swipe up on Instagram too. So, is that good? Everybody got everything? Ready to go make your pumpkins? A sea of pumpkins, your own personal pumpkin patch? Yeah? All right, everybody. Happy Halloween. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me, everybody.